Hi, Vijay Mistry here. In this video, I want to share with you financial intelligence for directors and executives. In this first video, I would like to share with you these three impact-driven insights, which I believe will heighten your level of intelligence and it will help you to make more effective decisions. So let's deep dive into these insights. First and foremost is three key financial signals. Now, I know there are very many other financial signals, but consider paying attention to these three. First and foremost is cash. Now, why is cash so important? Obviously, cash is the oxygen of your organization. Finance is the lifeblood of your organization, but cash is the oxygen of your organization. You need to pay particular attention to ensure that you have enough not only for sustainability purposes but also to ensure that you can withstand any road bumps or any turning points that come across your way. In other words, there may be a certain unexpected activity or event which may require liquidity. So you need to make sure that any cash or near cash derivatives are closely focused and looked into. You need to look into the signals and the trend. And here's another thing. Find out what the trend has been with your cash. 6 months ago, 12 months ago, 24 months ago. Find out the trend and make sure it's not signaling something which requires deeper attention. The second key financial signal is your gross margin. Why is this so important? Because your gross margin, which is obviously your revenues less direct costs, will give you gross profit, and gross profit divided by revenues multiplied by 100 will give you a gross margin. Your whole velocity and driver is at that particular level. So you need to make sure that in order to ensure that you are moving in the right direction, you need to ensure that you keep a close check on the gross margin. Is it increasing? Is it decreasing? Is there something happening? Because everything, all the elements and the core leverage drivers, in my opinion, are in that particular section of the P&L. So here's the thing. Ask those questions as it relates to the gross margin. And the third key financial signal is obviously your net profit. Because if there are any shifts that need to be made from your overheads, whatever your indirect expenses are, you need to make those shifts as well. Because if there is one consideration you need to make is to ensure that you have sustainable net profit margins. So that is important. Let me go to the second driver, which is equally important, financial multipliers. What do I mean by financial multipliers? Let me share with you a few for you to consider. The first and foremost, return on your marketing budget. So in other words, what's that return on your marketing dollars that you spend? Because right now, what's happening is we got Facebook, we got Twitter, we've got LinkedIn, we've got all these other social sites, and the return on investment in many instances is quite high. So what is it for your particular organization? Look into your return on investment on marketing and where you're spending your marketing dollars. The second area which you really need to look into is that shift in your customer and client behavior. What is that shift taking place in your customer and client behavior? In other words, what's happening to your revenues? Is it moving up? Is there deep fluctuations of what's happening? Because that is going to play a pivotal role and it's going to have a direct impact to the cash, to your profits, to everything that you're doing. So that is really important in my opinion. The third financial multiplier that you need to consider is your management team. The mindsets, the brilliant mindsets of your executives that you have. How can you really leverage and find out what else you can do? It could be innovative, it could be creative, it could be bringing in new product line or a service line, or it could be eliminating one of your product or service lines. You need to ensure that you have these brainstorming sessions so you can multiply, because I believe that is where the key leverage is. So these are just some guidelines for you to consider. Let's move to the next point, which is leakage points. Dear friends, you need to keep an eye on the leakages in your organization. In one particular organization, there was a leakage at the top. They were heavy at the top. In other words, they were heavy at the management level. And in one particular instance, we had to make those few bold changes in order for the organization to grow. Secondly, we now have all these technological drivers which are coming in. In other words, we have 3D printing, machine learning, artificial intelligence, big data, bots, BOTS. All this technological and digitization which is ongoing is changing the face of organizations. And I believe that you need to look into that transformation and move towards some of these algorithmic mechanisms, as I would put it. So what is it for your particular organization, and how can you really make it more leaner? The third area which I note as a leakage point is that some organizations which I have coached, consulted, or been a non-executive director or conducted a workshop, I note they have assets just lying there, and what I normally tell them is, why don't you just cash these ones in, because they're depreciating as you move forward. So look into the stock of assets or anything that you have which you can dispose of and cash into. If it's just lying there, it's costing you money, it's taking up space, and secondly, it's not generating any funds. There could be more for your organization, I'm not sure, or there may not be these leakage points at all. But these are just some guidelines and some consideration for you to help you in your journey. So my dear friends, I hope you found this video on financial intelligence for directors and executives insightful. I look forward to seeing you in the next video, where I'll share with you more growth-driven insights, helping you to scale up your organization as well as help you become a world-class entrepreneur, leader, director, executive, and manager. Thank you very much. Bye for now.